Okay. All right. So if you're hearing me for the first time, my name is Emmanuel Omeri. I happen to be the mentor of the Elite Millionaire Academy, or you can also call us the Elite Great Achievers. Okay. And today's training, like I said, is going to be on the key insights on how you use social media. What are the things you need to look at, and how does it benefit us inside of our business? Okay, inside of our business, how does it play out as a tool to help us? Okay, now, of course, I usually start my trainings with a question. You already know that. So the question for today is, are you using social media to grow yourself, to grow your business, or is it using you? Please, I'd like you to be honest with the response to this question. Hello? I'd like you to be what? Honest. Very, very honest with yourself on this question. Because if you answer this question correctly, there are chances. There are so much chances that you will make a headway with today's training. Okay? All right? If you answer this question honestly, you will realize that you will be on the right track for your business. Okay? Now, the mistake you will make is for you to lie to yourself. You can lie to everybody, but not to yourself. You can lie to everybody, but you can never lie to yourself. Are you using social media? Now, I'm going to help you, break this down so that you understand if social media is using you or you're using the social media platform. Now, everybody here, we either have an account on Instagram, you use the YouTube, okay? Everybody is familiar with the Facebook app. You're always on Facebook, okay? You have WhatsApp. That's why most of us are even in this meeting, because we send messages across on our various WhatsApp platforms, okay? Professionals also use LinkedIn, Snapchat. Today, Twitter is now the gossip platform. Is that not true? And then you have lots of contents going in on the TikTok, and you also have the Pinterest. Pinterest are also used widely today by a group of people. I know interior designers use Pinterest a lot. Okay. All right. So these are the various social media platforms. How many of them do you have on your phone? And how many of them are you spending time on? How much time do you spend on social media? I know there are people here also who have a mindset, a particular kind of mindset about social media. But this morning, we're going to be dissecting that. And more importantly, I want us to channel it to our business and see how you can use it to your own advantage, okay? Now, in the social media space, everything happening there has either a positive effect on you or a negative one on you. Now, virtual interaction, that means when we say virtual interaction, an interaction between people that you don't have to see them face to face. Just like what we're doing this morning, what we're doing on the Zoom application, what we do when we go online to have meetings is we are doing a virtual meeting. We use virtual meetings to organize our events. Sometimes we use virtual meetings for meetings, okay? All right. Now, the virtual interactions on social media, it doesn't have the same effect with the psychological benefit of meeting face to face. I want you to understand this. As much as we crave to use social media, as much as people are always on social media, yes, the world is on social media. There were times, if you're building our business, you go on things like radio to build your business. Today, it's more effective if you use the social media ads. All right? So many people, like I said earlier on, are affected by social media, either in a positive way or in a negative way. So trying to stay connected, you have to find positive ways of staying connected in a manner that supports your well-being. Okay, I want you to take note of this while we proceed in this training, okay? Now, you also need to understand that there is something that drives the social media. There's something that drives the social media. Who knows what that thing is? If you know what it is, go to the chat room and let's see if you can take a guess on that. What do you think drives the social media? What drives it? What drives the social media space? What do you think, in your honest opinion, is what drives the social media space? Okay. Okay. Mr. Daniel Soya said information. Information. Okay. What else? What do you think drives the social media space? What drives the social media space? Can someone still hear me? Can you still hear me? If you can hear me, let me know. What drives the social media space? Okay, this is a way to get us interactive. Okay, people. Yes, what do you think drives the social media space? Someone said people. Dahir Hassan said people. What drives the social media space? Okay, your content, if you're providing value. There's something that drives the social media. Why is it that everybody is always on social media? Let me give you a clue. Why do you think people are always on social media? That's what drives the social media space. So who knows what it is? Okay. All right. So let me help us. These days, most of us have access to social media via what? Via our smartphones. Our smartphones. Our smartphones and tablets. Is that not true? And it makes it very convenient for you to just quickly, get in touch with activities happening on Facebook. You get notifications. It pops up immediately. And then you have what? You have access to information. Is that not true? So that's why social media companies or people who have content or presence in social media always ask you to subscribe to their channel. Why? They want you to always get notified whenever they put out the content there. Is that not true? So what actually makes it convenient for you to be on social media is because with your phone, just a split of seconds, you're already on social media. In split of seconds, we're able to organize this meeting because most of us are in one form of, in fact, you're in one group or the other. Let me tell you this. If you're not connected socially, if you're not connected on social media, it's like you're somebody who is living, but you're blind. I hope you understand. Yes, face-to-face interaction, the psychology, the benefit of the psychological benefit of face-to-face interaction cannot be overemphasized. But if you are not on the social media space, you don't have any form of presence in social media, you are like a man who is living in a world where you're blind. You're completely blind because before you get to know about things, it has gone so far. Some people get to know about information 3-4 days after it has been what? Why do you think things go viral? It's because it's very easy. The day Nigeria, the president launched or unveiled the new currency, it was a split of seconds. It was already on social media. In fact, in less than 5-10 minutes, it was already on social media everywhere. People were talking about it. The new currency. Have you seen it? It's like they just changed the color. It's typesetting. Some people said this Photoshop. People were saying all sorts of things. Before you know it, people start making some TikTok videos about it, try to create content around it, send it on social. So these are the things that drive the social media space. It's very easy to get someone's attention because everybody has a smartphone. Everybody has a smartphone. So the question is this: how do you use the social media space? Let's take a dive into this, okay? Let's look at the positives. The positives with social media. Number one here, we said it helps you to communicate and stay up to date. with family and friends. With social media, you can communicate with I'm in a faraway country, I can reach out to my loved ones quickly on social media in a split of seconds. It's even cost effective because if I were to make normal calls on my local line, what happens? I'll be charged massively. I'll spend a lot of money to make those few minutes of calls. But with the social media space, with WhatsApp call, with messenger call, with calls on social media, you can reach out to and stay in contact with your family and loved ones. Okay, you can make new friends, build new communities, network with people all over the world if you are using the social media platform. You can share similar interests with people, share your ambitions with them. Okay, you join and promote worthy causes. Okay, you can also seek to offer emotional support during tough times. Yes, during the social media time, during the lockdown period, when COVID-19 was on as its peak, we use the social media platform to encourage one another, to provide support for our teams. All right? You find that there are vital social connections that if you live in a remote area, for example, you have limited independence or social anxiety. So social media helps you to integrate all of that. Okay? It helps you to find an opportunity to become creative. That's why you see people doing all sorts of reels. I was telling someone recently that Nigerians have a way of making themselves happy with something that is supposed to cause them pain. You know, before you know it, on TikTok, people are using it to, make jokes and funny things. You know, they make funny jokes about it, and before you know it, it's trending. It starts to trend. Okay, social media also, we said here that it's another way to get valuable information and also to learn. Yes, you can learn a lot of things using the social media platform. You can actually create, with the social media, life is so easy for us to do things in a snap of our finger, right? Now, let's look at the negative side of the social media space, okay? We've looked at the positive side. Let's look at the negative side. Number one, it gives you inadequacies about life or appearance. So people tend to live false life just because they want to appear good in social media. They want to get your attention. So they make you believe in a lie, right? Are we together? I can be somewhere, maybe I am at the back of my father's backyard in the village, and then I could use social media, I could use, there are a lot of techniques and technology today that can make it appear as if I'm living abroad, whereas I'm not anywhere close to being abroad. Is that not true? So it makes people, there's this tendency, trying to live a fake life on social media. Is that not true? These are the negatives. Okay. Now you have this fear of missing out on opportunities. All right, fear of missing out on opportunities. You think, have you try one day not to go on social media for one day? Just try for 1 day, 2 days, or even 3 days. Just try to avoid social media for the entire 3 days. There's this fear you have, there's this phobia about thinking that you're missing out on important things. Recently, last 2 weeks. The country where I find myself in, they have this, just like what we did in Nigeria. You have to provide your NIN, your national identification number, to register your SIM cards. And if you don't do that, you will be cut off from the network space. Is that not true? And now you have the network providers like MTN, Airtel, and the likes of them, promoting that people should do what? Register their SIM cards and all of that. Something similar also happened here, and they sent notices that people's data will be shut down. Okay, and once your data is shut down, you're completely out. So you'll only be able to use your lines to make calls. And after a period of time, it will be completely wiped out because that line is not registered. It has to be registered. So network providers now find a way to identify lines that are not registered and what? Cut them off. Now, for the few days that I was out of data, it was like I was disconnected from the entire world. So I had to find a way to get non-citizen card so that I can register the SIM card and be online. All right. So you have this fear of missing out on important things happening around you. Okay. Then there's this isolation, the feeling of loneliness that comes with it. Okay. Then people who use social media a lot tend to be depressed and anxious. It comes with a lot of depression and anxiety because of the things you get to see. You see so many negative things on social media that tends to put you on that lane of being depressed and being anxious. Okay. Now you have the issue of cyberbullying. That means you cannot handle negative comments. There are people who cannot handle negative comments. Before you know it, they are exchanging words with people. Cyberbullying. You feel bad when people make comments that are derogative to you. Okay. Just like probably we're having a Zoom meeting and we're talking about our business opportunity, and then we're talking about the compensation plan. And before you know it, someone goes to the chat room, and begin to post negative comments about the business, probably because they've had a negative or a bad experience in the past, and they try to relate it to what they are seeing. They're not able to juxtapose or differentiate between what they did in the past and the real deal that is being shown to them, and they take to writing negative comments. So cyberbullying is one of the negative parts of social media. And then you have this self-absorption, okay? These are just to mention but a few. And these things impact on our mental health. They impact on our mental health. Now, let's take it a step further. What are the signs that you're negatively being impacted by social media? Quickly, what are the signs? Number one, when you find yourself spending more time on social media than with your real world friends, then watch it. You are being negatively impacted by the social media space. Secondly, when you begin to compare yourself unfavorably with others on social media, you want to have the lifestyle somebody is having. Sometimes you don't even know how fake these lives are. Some of these people, if you meet with them face to face, you will be thankful to God because you know you are even by far better than these people. But because you're trying to compare yourself, you're trying to do this. Once you notice you're doing that, watch it. You are being impacted negatively by the social media space. All right? You start experiencing bullying. That means you can't handle negative comments. You can't handle it. When people make negative comments, you should turn a blind eye to it or even remove. I'm happy with what WhatsApp does now. Instead of you going to the group, some of us may have noticed it. In our mentorship platform, people will start posting pictures, start posting things that are not related to the business. Unlike before, you start chatting them up. Delete this thing you posted. Can you delete this message? Or somebody posts something that is not healthy. What do? You start chatting them up. With the new improvement on WhatsApp today, the admin can just quickly delete that message. Just recently in our class group, someone misinformed us about a classmate's father that died. So in my usual manner, I like to chat people like that personally to, identify with them in their moment of grief. So what did I do? I chatted this lady and she happened to be my childhood friend. And we also happened to have gone to the same school, we're classmates. So I chatted her up and I said, I heard something about the loss of your father. I'm really sorry about it. And the next thing, after a few minutes, she replied me, she said, thanks, but I'm confused. Where is this coming from? I only made a post on Facebook commemorating my father-in-law's demise last year, and we're remembering him. So I just posted that thing. My father is hale and hearty. So I don't know where this information is coming from. Probably you're responding to a message that is wrong or based on a false information. I shouted immediately. I said, Mogweo, can you imagine? Have you seen me telling somebody, sorry for the loss of your father when the father is even alive? All right? And she was able to handle it, of course. So And then I went to the group immediately and I demystified that information. And before you know it, that guy who happened to post that thing was the admin. He deleted all the comments, all the trends that came from that post. Why was he able to do that? Because of the new features WhatsApp has. But there are people who cannot handle those kind of things. They can't handle those kind of negative comments. All right. So that is that. Being distracted from your business or your work is one of the key reasons you should take note of. Whenever you see yourself, you're always being distracted with your business or with your job, then you need to watch it, because social media is beginning to have a negative impact on you. All right. You now begin to have less time for self-reflection, personal reflection, personal assessment. When you're supposed to, sometimes you take out time, few minutes, 30 minutes, and just ponder on what's happening in your life. Self-assessment, self-reflection. Social media prevents you from doing that. Because you're spending so much time on social media, you barely have time for self-reflection. Okay? Now, what are other signs? You start engaging in risky behaviors, trying to get likes. So you begin to live fake lives. You want to do things that will draw attention because you want people to like your post. You want people to like your pictures. So you begin to live a fake life. You want positive reactions on social media. You want to see, if you want to be liked by everybody, then go and start selling ice cream. Even the ice cream, is not everybody that likes ice cream. People who are diabetic will not even like your business. I'm telling you the truth. Are we together? So when you start doing things like this, just understand that you're already losing it. You're on the negative side of social media. And then you begin to suffer lack of sleep. You don't sleep on time. You wake up very late. You wake up grudged, as in you're disgruntled. Sometimes you look unkempt. You're not looking fresh. You come online, we're seeing you. We know that you're so disorganized because you're lacking sleep. Sleep has a way of giving you some form of rest, and you rest. I had a very long journey. The night before yesterday, I had a very long journey. I traveled to a very far distance for my event, and I barely slept. I barely slept that night. So, trying to fit in for the event and look super sharp, I had to take some rest, even if it's just an hour nap or 30 minutes. I just needed to put that, get that rest. Now, when you begin to deprive yourself of such things, it means you are negatively impacted by social media. And then the last but not the least, you begin to become so anxious about things to be done. You become so depressed. So these are signs that you are negatively impacted by social media. Okay, so watch it. All right, watch it. Now, there's a keynote I want you to take note of. Social media organizations spend billions of dollars to get and hold your eyeballs or get your attention. They want you to be glued on their page. That's why they want you to always get notified. They ask you to subscribe. Have you noticed these days that when you click on, as they try to get your information because they want to stay in touch with you, especially your emails, they want to keep sending you mails. I have people that each time I open my mailbox, I see 1,001 emails. And these are things I subscribe to. Sometimes some of them I've realized now that I don't even have need for them. But because I had this habit then of always, subscribing to things, you want to get to know almost everything. And then you see people bombarding your mails with all sorts of things. All right. So social media organizations, people who use social media to build their business or build their brand, they spend billions of dollars just to keep you attached to your phone, just to keep you glued to your tablet, because they want your attention. Once they're able to get your attention, the more likes, the more views they're getting, that's how they make money. All right. Now, so the use of social media should not be something that will use you. So use the social media. That is the keynote of today's training. Use social media. Don't let it use you. Use social media as a tool. Don't be the tool that will be used by social media. And I'm going to give you practical ways on how you can do that as regards to our business. I'm not going to be talking about the general thing. All right. Yes, we understand that social media has positive and negative impact, but I want to narrow it down to our business. Okay, this is the essence of we always, coming for trainings like this in the morning. How do I use social media as a tool and not social media using me as a tool? Okay, so what are those ways to use social media as a tool? What are those practical ways? There are two major ways I'm going to share with you on how to use social media today. Do you want to see those two ways? Do you want to see them? If you want to see them, type yes, I am. Yes, I want to. Yes, I want to. Okay? Go to the chat room and type yes, I want to. I want to be sure that you really want to. I want to be sure that you really want to. Yes? How many of us want to know the ways? There are two practical ways by which you can maximize social media in line with our business. And I bet to say it's also going to affect you generally as you use social media. So I'll dive into it quickly. Number one, create more than you consume. Hello? Create more than you consume. Create more than you consume. Okay? You consume a lot of things. You consume a lot of things from social media. Now it's time for you to change it. Now I'm going to tell you practical ways to do this. Post more content and become a broadcaster of content. Some of us might be saying, what is content? Content is something you always post on social media. Let's say you're always posting something on social media. That thing can be regarded as content, especially when it becomes consistent. I'm coming to that as well. So let's say you have someone who always posts about personal development, which is something I do always on social media. If you go through my pages, either on Instagram or Facebook, you find out that once in a while I make posts. Yes, I said once in a while, which I'm also going to adjust on that. It's part of the training we're going to be doing today. Okay, ways by which you can, use social media to your own advantage. All right, as far as our business is concerned. Now, personal development could be something you're keen at, something you like, maybe something you're passionate about. You're passionate about something. Maybe it's about food, it's about clothing, it's about hair, dogs. I don't know, just anything that you're passionate about. Interior designs, football, anything you always post on social media is content. Now, you need to do something. You need to make a switch. Instead of you consuming more of those contents, be a broadcaster of more content. Okay? Now, you should be consuming only for 3 reasons. Number one, you want to make research. That's when you should consume. I want to research on a topic. I want to research on an area of my business. I want to research on what professionals are saying about prospecting. I want to research what are the trainings Eric Worre has done on finding prospect, on inviting. There are so many trainings he has done at different times on different occasions. I can research to consume for that purpose. All right? So you consume only when you're making research. Please, what I'm telling you is going to help you. If you want to become relevant, if you want to actually make the most use of social media, only consume when you want to make research. I want to find out something about my business. Maybe it's about how I invite. There are professionals who has done trainings on how to invite. Both the G8 leaders, the G leaders, our leaders, and other top leaders in our business. Okay, so you can consume for research purposes. You can always also consume for hashtag. All right, hashtags are just like when we did our 100 days challenge. We said when you post on social media, put the hashtag 2 per day. Hashtag 2 per day. What it means is that anybody who wants to know how to do a 2 per day campaign, once they type the hashtag 2 per day, they will see all posts about 2 per day. All right, so hashtags are things you can also pay attention to. And then maybe there's a particular trend that is important for your business. There's a trend important for your business. For example, reels can be used to boost your business. You can do reels about your business. There are a couple of reels I've done on my Instagram page that is strictly for my business promotion. So reels are trends in social media today. Now, how do you use those reels to build your business? So these are the only things you should consume for. So if I'm looking for reels, I'm looking for reels that can help me drive my business, that can help me promote my own content, that can help me promote my business. Is somebody getting value this morning? Are you getting value from this training so far? Okay, you begin to see how you've been using social media in the wrong way. Instead of aimlessly scrolling, consuming, and you're listening to those things that will be making you depressed, what do? You intentionally now search for things that you want to consume. You only consume because you want to research, you want to pay attention to some hashtags, or you want to copy a particular trend that will help you drive your business. Am I communicating? All right. And then you need to resist the urge of being a mouse in the mousetrap of organizations that are using social media to build their business. So in summary, the number one way by which you can use social media to grow your business is by posting or creating more content than you consume. All right. Now, the second way that you can also use the social media to your own advantage in terms of building your business is that you must be a creator of quality content. Become a creator of quality content. The key word here is value and consistency. I am really guilty with consistency. Part of the things I have resolved is that every Monday after Supercell meeting, something must go out on my social media pages to ensure that people also still follow with the trainings I have done for them. So that people now begin to watch, content coming from that page. And because they already know that every Monday they're going to see something from me, they are always expecting. For those of us who follow Ambassador Ronke on Instagram, every Wednesday she's live. If you're following her, what happens is that once she starts her live, you get notified. And because you've always been a beneficiary of such lives, what happens? You keep keying in to listen to what she has to say. Why? She's giving you value and she's consistent with it. So the key word is what? Value and consistency. So value will keep your people keep coming. It keeps them coming in, and they also will recommend other people to join or follow you. Recently, I started seeing that change. When I started doing, at least I try to post something on personal development twice every week. So the idea is I take it a step further. I start doing 3 times a week. Before you know it, I'm doing it every day. So every day people are expecting to get content about their personal development on Instagram, on Facebook, as long as they're following me. So you get people will keep, because you follow this person, they will want to ensure that their own friends also follow. All right? They want their teammates to also follow. So value will keep your audience. They keep coming in, they keep listening to you, and they will always tell others about your value. Consistency builds trust and it builds your brand. Consistency builds trust and builds your brand. Okay, so whenever you are on social media platform, always think about how you can bring value to your audience. How do I bring value? What I'm posting, how does it bring value to someone? Yes, it's good to post about your birthdays. It's good to post about your child dedication, your Thanksgiving, good things happening to you. They are part of it. They are part of it. All right? They are part of it because you want your people, you want to be able to relate with your community. Is that okay? So always strive to bring value. Always strive to bring value. Let your watchword on social media be about creating quality content and be consistent with it. Now, I'm going to give you a tip on how you can create content, no matter who you are. Let's assume you're not even good at anything for now. You want to start creating content. Now, this is something you can do. I'm going to share that with you before the end of this training. Okay? Now, before we go on to the last part of this, we're concluding now. There's something I'd like us to note very well. Human beings are social creatures. We need the companionship of each other to thrive in life, all right? And the strength of connection has a huge impact on our mental health and happiness. Now, don't forget that the face-to-face interaction can never, ever be substituted by the use of social media. No matter how much you use social media, always remember that there is this need for you to go physically, interact physically with your people. That will help you in the long run. Okay? So it's good to connect with people on the social media platform, but as much as possible, try to get face-to-face with them, because you can never change the psychological effect face-to-face interaction has with the online platform. I give us an illustration to buttress this and I round up. Okay? Now, recently, sometimes we do our business online. Is that not true? So you connect people online. Have you realized that when you connect with people online and you don't create an opportunity to meet with them face to face in the shortest possible period of time, you find out that it's difficult for you to duplicate with people like that? Yes, it's difficult. So now, what do you do when you connect with people online? People sign into your business online. People want to, as much as possible, try and create an opportunity to meet with them physically. So social media can be used. You can create content. You can always post content, create quality content, but don't forget that bringing your people or your audience face to face at some point is very, very crucial. Okay, so this is an activity I want you to do. Let's say you're starting from the ground level. You don't really have content to put out on social media like that. You're just starting up. No matter who you are, you can do this activity. Okay, so go on Google, go to Google search and type the best articles on, let's say, prospecting, or the best articles on food, best articles on football, best articles on whatever topic you want to build your content around. Go on Google and search for best articles on those kind of things, videos on those topics, or photos on those topics. Now, what you can do, Google will give you 1,001 results. You can pick one to post every day for the next 365 days. Okay, so with this activity, anybody can start from somewhere to start creating content. Please, don't take this for granted. Don't take this training for granted. The world is a global village today, and people who are craving to stay connected with each other. And one way for you to make the most use of the social media space is two ways, is that you become a creator of content. That means you create more than you can consume. And secondly, you create quality content. All right? So with these two ways, you can actually, maximize the good use of the social media platform to your own advantage. So as a way to start off, if you want to start off today, you can make a decision today that even if it is in a day or in a week or every 2 days, or, just find a time that is more convenient. You can start from somewhere. Start from somewhere. Habits are not things you rush into. That's one of the things that make people don't stay consistent with what they start. They start and they don't remain consistent with it. So the only way for you to stay consistent is take it one per day, one per week, maybe one per month, depending on your capacity. All right? How did I overcome my inability to always read? I started by reading 5 pages in a day, even if it's just for 15 minutes, 30 minutes. I find out that when I read the first 5 pages, I want to read further. The next day, I want to read further. The next day, I want to read further until it now becomes a habit. So that's how you also start with the social media space. You can start by creating content once every day or once every week. That way, you stay consistent and you'll be able to provide quality content for your audience to listen in. All right? So make sure you are in charge. That's the key word, or that's the keynote. Don't be a tool. use the tool. Okay, go to the chat room and type that. And I want you to, let's trend this. Don't be a tool, use the tool. Go on your status, put it up there. Don't be the tool, use the tool. Okay, don't be the tool, use the tool. Don't be the tool, use the tool. Okay, so put it up on your social media platform, put it up on your status. All right, it will remind you. Put it on your Facebook page to remind you of this training also. All right, we're also going to upload this training on the YouTube platform so that you can also always go over this training again with your teammates and get value as you do that. Okay, so that will be all for today's training. And before we go, I'd like to find out from each and every one of us something very valuable. Have you gotten value from this training today? Is there something you have gotten from this training that you can use to build your business going forward? Share with me in the comment section. Share with me in the comment section.